Hey, it's time for another stream. I'm Josh Stinson. Welcome back to another AOM stream, I suppose. I'm the video editor here at Volition, also the stream host. And today in the couch, we've also got...
James Kotzian, the systems designer.
Camden Bear, environment artist / world builder.
And yeah, we're just going to be continuing to play some more AOM from where we left off last time. This time I'm going to make sure to lower the difficulty level because I had to cheese a lot of combat encounters with Rama just going invisible, headshotting, going invisible, because whoops, I thought difficulty 8 or 7 was fine for the beginning, and then I was wrong and I got my ass kicked.
Even those difficulties can.
Yeah, 'cause it's I swear to God, I started playing on a difficulty that high, when we got our own copies of the game, the day before launch, and I played some at home, but apparently I was on something lower because I'm getting messed up all of a sudden in this game. But yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at some more agent unlock and personal missions, since at this point I feel like we just need to unlock more agents.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, we have 5 right now, I believe.
That's not enough.
I think 5. So I was thinking we'd probably go... that's right, he doesn't come up until later. I was thinking of either Red Card or Yeti, but based on the list...
Yeti.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was on 8. I should probably go... this is recommended. I'll probably stay on 6. Maybe 6 will be okay.
You got choices?
Yeah. I've been running with this for a while. Fortune's out in the global conflict thing, so...
Can I skins for Rama?
Do I?
Looks like it. Yeah, get that.
Yeah, I got this.
That looks nice.
I have stuff for Gat right now?
Looks
I probably
like it.
do. Okay, yeah, I got the really good... Okay, no, I have the...
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Definitely do that.
Yeah.
He's only 10 days from retirement.
Do I want to replace Hollywood with hardtack? We haven't used hardtack that much, really. He's only level 4, so... There we go. Okay, hopefully I'll be fine this time. Especially since I got, one more tanky guy with a shotgun, and then a dude with a shotgun with longer range.
Time to go, agent.
You need Red Card to complete your shotgun collection.
Yeah. It's kind of why I wanted to get Red Card, so I could just have an all-shotgun squad.
Squad.
I don't know, but, I'm just one of those dudes that, really gravitates towards shotguns in games. As long as they do them right. Because, sometimes, you just get a game where you just stick with the assault rifles because the shotgun's range is so tiny. And also, a big reason why I go for shotguns generally is just because they sound really good.
Oh, yeah.
The sound is really satisfying.
I love Gats. The noise for his shotgun.
Yeah.
Really sells it.
The whole reason why I started gravitating towards shotguns was when I played Doom forever ago, and even though it's only 3 frames of animation for reloading the shotgun, the super shotgun, it's really satisfying. Okay, so Yeti. So you worked on Yeti's missions, yeah?
I did his personal mission.
You did his personal mission.
So I did not do his unlock mission.
Well, we should be able to get to his personal mission pretty quick.
Sure.
Maybe I'll do a boost there.
Turn on the lights.
That's right.
Gotta do it.
Never turn them off.
And then when you run into cars, you can just scream, "Pull over! I am the law!"
Goodbye, agent.
It's pretty funny.
That just reminds me of there's a pretty old open world game called True Crime. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's just reminding me that that game let you play as Snoop Dogg. And
really?
side, you got to play as Snoop Dogg in a side game mode, and it was all about arresting people who were stealing his MP3s. It was really goofy.
Yeah, that many people trying to steal his MP3s.
So topical, right? Like Napster was the end boss.
Yeah. It was. I don't know if they straight up reference Kazaa or Napster, but yeah, he like arrests people who are like stealing his music. But yeah, let's get some Yeti. All right.
Special
Agents,
investigation.
I'm marking the
Yeah.
location of a Legion patrol in the city. They've captured a contact of ours who I hope can help us with a small problem.
I may need more info.
Well, we've lost Agent Yeti.
How the hell did you lose him? He's like 6'5". He looks like a snowman on HGH.
He went looking for
Oh, what was his
technology from
jump in
homeland
animation?
and,
Is he sort of
well,
like
Yeah, it
got
goes like-
Yeah,
like
there's
the
that.
Fonz kind of, or like what's
or
like a
Kind of just like action
okay.
Yeah,
pose.
dual pistol.
two pistols, like a kind of hard boiled sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Totally.
Hard boiled is very much what we were going for with him.
Cool.
Okay. Difficulty. Well,
Nice.
difficulty 6 is much more feasible, especially when I can just get him right in the damn face.
Yeah, it makes a big difference if you can one-shot someone too.
Yeah, totally.
Like, even if it's just, like, They have a little bit more health. If it's the difference between one-shotting them and two-shotting them, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. The
Except at least with Gap.
when I was streaming last week and I was doing like that little first encounter you have with Hammersmith, there's a like only Rama was alive and there were no more Mayhem stars to like pick up or anything. So I was pretty boned and I was like getting desperate. Like I haven't, cause like we haven't streamed like this just playing through the game too much yet. So I hadn't picked up very much Gremlin Tech and I hadn't really crafted any yet. So I had like 2 gutter ball guns and I was getting really desperate and like just trying to find the perfect angle to hit Hammersmith in the face with a bowling ball.
Yeah.
It kind of worked.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Because I imagine he wouldn't be like bowled over or anything because he's just like rooted in place.
Right. It was. I didn't try to use it on him because he was up too high. You know, when you fight him in the first couple phases.
Yeah.
But like that final phase, he's floating right above like the console.
Ah, okay.
So like he's on a level where I was able to actually hit him with the bowling ball.
Nice.
That goes well with his dialogue during that fight too, doesn't it? Or is that the earlier fight?
The later fight is the one where he's talking about his balls.
Talks a
Yeah.
lot about his balls. I was,
Agents, head to the marked
Like
location.
like a good villain would.
yeah. I was showing off the game to my family over Labor Day weekend, and I had like my sister playing, and she's not like a huge gamer, so but she's doing pretty well. And she's playing the Hammersmith boss fight, but she was like taking a while and stuff, and she was just takes a while since she's more inexperienced.
Right.
But it was just on the phase where it's just he was talking about his balls all the time, and they got real old after like you hear the same ball joke like 10 times in a row.
I always enjoy hearing people go like, "Oh yeah, my parents played the game I worked on," just because it's like with some games it's just like, "Mom and Dad, look at this game I worked on." Then it's like, "Mom and Dad, look at this game I worked on," where this bad guy talks about his balls for a while.
Yeah.
And like for some people's parents, it's like probably like fine, and then
Yeah.
for some others, it's probably like,
How distasteful.
my rich Victorian era parents do not approve of these ball jokes.
Do you have any idea how many computers we have in here? You'll never find
All right, so we're
any
going
useful
into
information.
a lair here, and Camden, you worked on lair stuff.
Yes. I did.
Since a lot of these, okay, so I guess explain how like the legions work on like a room per room basis, because I don't actually know how the lair system works, like how it builds them.
Sure. I'm not really super aware of all the tech, but each room is a discrete piece, and then there's a mission system, and it connects the rooms together before you launch into one of the layers. And yeah, so each room needs to have compelling space for combat and traversal while you're in that room. It has to kind of exist on its own.
Right. So when making these rooms and stuff, how much like back and forth is there with like combat designers? and stuff, because it's I always have a hard time imagining how like you even go about making a place that's like fun and conducive for combat.
Yeah.
It just seems it's like I am a person that's like, okay, make like a fun shooting space, and I'd probably be one of those people who would put in way too many like waist high cover objects.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so it's a high mobility game, and the emphasis is on offense rather than defense. So if you do too much waist high cover, right, you're just blocking and clotheslining the player really. So like in this room, if you look behind yourself, you've got all these bridges that provide platforming opportunities, but also vertical cover, right? So you've got enemies up there shooting down at you. Lots of pillars. We try to use the architecture as much as possible so that you don't have to rely on props as much.
Right.
I mean, we still have those in there.
Anyone found working with
When
Mayhem,
working on these rooms, were there ever any like layouts that were just like had to be scrapped because they were just like way too hard to fight in? 'Cause I know I've definitely played some games where it's like there's always like that one area where it's like far more advantageous to all the enemies spawning in than you.
We've already moved what you're looking for to another base.
We did a lot of green box rooms, probably 2 to 3 times as many as we actually shipped with.
Okay.
And yeah, we just went with our best ones in terms of general playability.
Right.
Some of them, it's amazing. You can have a space that's fairly linear, go from one side to the other, and players will still get lost pretty easily if you don't have if the flow's just not there. And if the scale,
The longer you search,
we did some
the
rooms
more
that were
chances we have
way
they
larger
kill you.
than the rooms that we shipped with, and they ended up having too many paths, and it would sort of fold in on itself, and people would get turned around.
Okay.
And so yeah, we had to kind of filter. We worked very closely with the combat team. They were constantly reviewing our stuff, which is great. Those guys are awesome. Gave really good feedback.
Yeah, one thing I just remembered I should look for these here, although I don't know if I'll be able to find any this time around, but I remember at some point, like earlier on in development, I don't remember if it was for when we did Awesome Week or not, but I remember at some point somebody like presented like the secret rooms and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Are those also like so like say a layer is using one specific room? Are the secret rooms always the same for that room, or are they on like some kind of system too where they can be linked together separately?
They activate or deactivate dynamically, I think, and then they're like the other rooms where they spawn in when you first activate the layer.
Okay.
So it'll either have them or it won't. But there are some secrets within the rooms
What do you hope to learn with that?
that are self-contained.
Okay.
Legion, of course we do.
This room, for example, has a secret in it that may or may not have been activated.
Okay. I was curious if you just knew off the top of your head where a secret would be in this room. I think I've found one in this room before.
So there's one behind you down in the pit.
Oh, down in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
This person. Whoa! Wow. That's
Nice.
a good hit on him.
Yeah. So there's a door there that pulls back that you're standing on.
Oh right, yeah.
There's a switch.
There's a switch somewhere.
Switch?
Yeah. But the switch might not actually be there if that secret isn't spawned in.
Right.
I had no idea this stuff
And
was in there.
then behind you there's a jumping secret. So we use this.
Oh, on this?
No. Keep going. Turn around. So in the corner, the far corner of the room.
I was just curious if we could go up there. This corner?
Turn right
Okay.
and go straight. And you see that vertical track? It's got like a couple of lights going up. See, there's a hole in the ceiling.
Oh shit.
To your left. Sorry.
Go
Straight.
Oh,
Yeah.
See that?
So
Oh my God.
We use this pattern a lot. So if you find this pattern on any walls, usually it leads up to, and if you have your wall climbing.
Whoa.
So
I have not found this one before.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes the
So
loot box
cool.
will spawn up there.
Huh. Okay, so it looks like there's nothing here this time, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had no idea about this area at all.
Wow.
And I'm looking to see if I can find the... I'm scanning to see if I can find the switch for the other one, but I think it's usually like one of these consoles up here that you can activate, but it looks like it's not activated this time around.
I think it's on the other side. I think it would be on this side. So if you did your ping and you were close to that side, it might activate.
No, it doesn't look like it. Because you can always tell if it's like, if there's a special console to like open a secret thing, because they're always red instead of blue. At least from what I've noticed.
Her pants are so shiny.
Yeah, they're super shiny here.
Very jealous of those pants.
Yeah, I was curious. I'm thinking, because I've never found them, but it's just anecdotal. I've never found the secret ones while doing like personal missions. So I'm thinking they might not spawn for personal missions, and they're just for when you normally go into Legion layers that you find around the world.
Yeah, that would be handled by the layer script.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That one's cool.
That one's really good. That's also pretty good. I mean, all around the specials are pretty good, but...
Wonderful job. Now let's hope, wherever he is, Agent Yeti will find what he's looking for.
Yeah, Gat's got a cool cyclical build to him where using a special will let him fire his weapon more, and getting kills with his weapon more will let him use his special more.
Right.
So that's pretty fun to, if you deck him out with that stuff and combine it all together.
Okay. Yeah, I'm remembering. Okay, I was trying to remember what Yeti's unlock mission is like, because it's been a long time since I last played that one. I just remembered.
Pretty cool.
Who was I before this? When you are as big as I am, everyone assumes you are just a mindless brute. But my knowledge of strategy, tactics, I stood out as a soldier. And I was a soldier for Mother Russia first and foremost. Our government fell on Devil's Night, but our people fought back. A new revolution, and my country became stronger than ever. Stronger even than me. So I volunteered for an experiment to turn a mere soldier into Russia's greatest protector, the Cold Warrior.
Yeah, I like his intro.
Yeti.
I like the final shot, mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
I appreciate the pun, the Cold Warrior. Great.
Ever seen I'm trying to remember which Batman movie it is.
Oh yeah, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
With Arnold
Mr.
Schwarzenegger's
Freeze,
Mr. Freeze, yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
That's had some grade A ice puns in it for sure.
Yeah, he's landed on pretty thick.
114. This is Barracks Captain PB49. Please return to your cell.
There will be no returning to my cell.
Then I must warn you, disciplinary measures will be undertaken.
Ha! Please!
Yeah, for anybody watching this stream either right now or later on in YouTube, please watch all of the 90s era Batman movies, because they start out as like, okay, sure, the Tim Burton ones are kind of neat, and then they get like real hokey.
They get real goofy, yeah.
Oh man, they're really good.
I like the one with Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yeah, that movie is
good.
incredible. It's Jim Carrey's on like this really good line of like, okay, he's acting great, and also he's hamming it up way too hard. He's like riding that line.
Yeah.
And it's that's also the movie where Jack Nicholson is Two-Face, I believe, or not Jack Nicholson.
I forget.
Damn it, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name right now. He was in Space Cowboys.
Yeah, they had some interesting castings for those movies, even though they weren't that awesome.
Wait, are you thinking Tommy Lee Jones?
In progress.
For
Tommy Lee
Two-Face?
Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones. That's who it is. I don't know why I went to Jack Nicholson.
Well, he was
the
the Joker.
He was the Joker.
The older one, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Attempted
He's a
system.
great
That's the
Penguin.
movie I remember the least. I remember seeing it in theaters, but also I think I was 4 years old when that movie came
Yeah,
out.
I think we're about the same age because I remember being young
Yeah.
and watching like Catwoman eat a bird and be like disturbed by that.
This is actually one of our earlier rooms that we did where we were working on the style for Legion.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember seeing this one much earlier on in development. I remember the, weren't like these tubes where like the Legion suits are hung in, weren't they like a lot different before?
It went through a few iterations, yeah. So it's like a 3D printer kind of thing. Where they're
That's how they make them.
Yeah. It's a repair station.
Right.
This whole thing is supposed to feel like a medieval crypt. So you have the bunks are slotted into the walls, like
Oh yeah.
like a necropolis, right? And then you have the vertical suits of armor pressed back in like a medieval crypt.
That's pretty cool. I never realized that.
Kind of unsafe for them to be sleeping down here with all these explosive barrels and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, they signed a waiver.
That's true. They knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, science fiction is pretty interesting with trying to get the style of something right. You want there to be detail and interest, but you don't want things to get too noisy.
Yeah.
And the more that our game went for that crazy speed and readability, the more we had to make the environment complement that.
Yeah.
So it needs to recede a little bit so that the characters kind of come forward.
Yeah.
Sure.
I remember an issue we had much earlier on was that, speaking to that, although this is more of the solution was a VFX thing. I remember for a while, if you were playing in areas that were either darker in color palette or it was darker lighting wise, the Legion troopers were a lot harder to spot.
Yep.
And that's why at nighttime, and also I think the further away you are from them, the more their armor like glows.
Yep.
Which, I mean, also has the benefit of looking cooler, so it's a win-win. But yeah, I remember like before that got implemented, some Legion troopers, especially at nighttime, were much harder to see and fight.
Yeah, originally our bases were very blue, kind of similar to a certain 80s cartoon, Evil Faction.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You tell me for what reason you have stolen General Winter technology.
So we
and there will be no
made
further
it more
aggression.
neutral so the lighting could take over
Yeah.
for creating a color.
Do it.
Whoop.
Just know I am not the one to blame here. You do this to yourself. Also, if you have anything you have been hiding from us, like some sort of special ability, I would advise against it. You will only get yourself into more trouble.
Birthday announcements.
I appreciate the continued Debbie from Legal references in chat.
They're always talking about her, like every time now.
Become a bit of a Bit of a small meme.
Is it legal or HR? Or?
From Legal.
From Legal, okay.
It's an even smaller character that, in fact, only has one mention throughout the entire game.
Does she even have a speaking line? I forget.
No, she doesn't. She's just referenced by Braddock in Braddock's unlock mission in one line. And then the chat just went with it, and they're like, Debbie from Legal, what about her? She seems nice.
I like that it's like she seems nice too. Like people have a genuine interest in her.
Something about the words Debbie from Legal.
Speaking of other secrets, this one is too, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's a switch. It won't be here because it's a mission, I suppose. But yeah, you can activate one of these screens, and that giant TV screen over there will like flip up or pull up, and there's like a secret room behind it.
Whoa!
There's also another one behind you.
Is
so
there?
those pillars right there, the central dais, goes straight up to another one of those pass-throughs, and you'll see it's using the same.
Oh yeah.
Probably can't get up
wall
there.
mesh.
Yeah.
You need one of the wall climbing characters.
Yeah, wall climbing.
Yeah, this layout was by Matt Upholtz. He did the cool circular layout in here.
This is one of the bigger rooms, isn't it?
No, this is about an average size room.
Okay. I can't remember how like big they get, but yeah, I guess it's just a little bit bigger than average. It's just more wide open, so it feels bigger, I suppose.
Okay. You have really done it this time. Here I come. You asked for it.
I'm a big fan of our robot voice in our game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you hold still and receive your punishment.
Yeah, some of his audio lines or its audio lines are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
Yeah, it's great.
He says something else like, I cannot fly.
Yeah, that's what happens. I've heard it happen if I like punch him off a ledge or something.
Very well. Where is the terminal?
This room here was also one that was ready pretty early on, right?
Yeah, this is very early.
Yeah.
It went through a few changes. Yeah.
I remember doing a lot of capture for this place early on. When we were just trying to like do vertical slice stuff and kind of and you know get recordings of like, okay, here's something that looks like it works.
Against the Korean people.
Yeah. It ended up being more successful than we initially realized, with a few minor tweaks. It's pretty interesting how that worked out.
Someone's asking who voiced the robot. Not sure. Do you know? Was it one of our other major voice actors?
I believe it was. I can't say for sure. I don't want to say who it is and then get it wrong.
Yeah.
But I do seem to remember when we were doing the earlier streams and we had the voice actors on, one of them did say that they voiced that robot, or at least one of the robots for sure.
Cool.
Mike Watson, our community developer in the chat, he might know. Yeah, but I can't quite remember who it is.
Yeah, I think it's funny how we'll have our voice actors just do like completely different voices for all the smaller roles and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's
good way to reuse.
Yeah, it's like you can use a voice actor to do up to 3 voices in your game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the
rules of the
rules.
guild.
I forget if it's like they can do even more, but you have to pay them more or what.
Okay.
I think it may just be you can only do 3 voices or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right, let's go to the Ark and get
discipline, drive, and
which
responsibility.
Yeti around here.
Let's do it. Take that to the bank.
It was on. There's like a show. I think it's a Twitch show called Game Engine, and there was a bunch of our voice actors who were promoting the game, and just just did it on their own, and they just talked up the game and were talking about their roles and stuff. And it was funny because one of the voice actresses, she was She played the main woman in Firewatch. What was her name? Sissy Jones? Is that her name?
I believe so.
Yeah, and she got a BAFTA award, I think, for her performance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then we have her in this game, but she does Mimi, the little owl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she just does like the little mascot, and
yeah, she did a great job in
Firewatch.
Firewatch.
Yeah. Oh, and in Firewatch, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I totally remember. Like I still remember what her character sounded like in that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So the owl that's like in the TTX.
Yeah.
Tells you
Mimi.
about the city.
Welcome to Seoul. Yeah. It's funny because her colleagues were giving her shit like BAFTA award-winning actress Sissy Jones doing the little owl.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love little touches like that when you can have some fictional world building in your environment. That's always good stuff.
Yeah. I think she also did some voices for some of the female enemies.
Oh, cool.
Yes, Mimi the Owl. That's its name.
Completely forgot that's what its name was. Did they ever say the owl's name in the game? I can't remember.
Not sure. It might just be an internal thing.
Attention all Mayhem personnel. This is a reminder.
All right, I had Fortune doing stuff over here.
Should bring you back good stuff.
Oh, some more contracts. Yeah, I'll just keep sending her out for now. I can only do one right now. Okay. Yeti's personal mission.
Let's do it.
Let's switch Gat out. We've been using Gat a whole lot recently.
Gonna double tank it? It's a lot of tanks.
Sure.
All right. 2 super close range dudes and 1 super long range lady.
I can make it work.
We got
Looks like we may have an answer from Mike. See, our audio guy Larry says he's pretty sure the robot's voice in the mission was Brad Abril, but he's not 100% sure. Okay. So maybe Brad Abril.
Who did he voice? Do you know?
I feel like he was one of our agents too, but I don't think. Now I'm thinking about it, I don't think he was.
He wasn't one of mine.
Okay. Keep it at 6.
You think so?
I think so. I think the main, well, I get maybe I could put it up to 7 because I have 2 tanks right now. But yeah, that was my main issue, is that the team I was rolling with, they were either middle of the road people's shields and health wise, or like glass cannons. So
it'd be interesting if you did all if you like just tried playing some teams that were just like very extreme, like all tanks or all glass cannons.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how well that'd work.
Yeah, like if you threw in Daisy instead of Rama with this team. Or you did like Rama, Jewel, and Scheherazade, and you just like had to keep moving or die.
Oh man, it's like the advanced user team, right? I feel like you can do a lot with those characters, but you gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, totally. you gotta move.
Out of all of our agents, the one I have the hardest time like being effective with. And I think it's just up to based on how I play the game, is Jewel. She like, I really like playing as Jewel, but I'm more of like a Rama, Braddock, like switching between like Scheherazade and like Daisy person.
Gotcha. Yeah, Jewel, she's probably got the highest like learning, or the highest learning curve to her. Or steepest learning curve, rather.
Yeah.
I imagine that you might have to like survey your territory a bit. Get like a lake
ice
area
barrage
before you
weapon
can
not
really
far
use her,
using that
like,
General Winter tech.
Well, she's real good.
Find the link.
She's real good in open spaces with her turret, where her turret has good line of sight to a lot of things. Because it's planted in place, and you gotta move it if it can't.
You can probably set up choke points and stuff too, though. Where you like funnel the
That's
enemy
true. That's true. Can work well for that.
legend has it, they might be creating their own Cold Warriors. I see why that's a bad thing.
Exactly.
Just getting close. I'll do the rest.
No problem.
It's pretty cool too, like if you're like being chased by enemies and you're just trying to get out and recover, to like come around a corner of an alley and then just like throw it in the alley and be like, all right, you take care of them while I rest up
cool.
a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Never thought of that.
You sort of double back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
All right, so this is the mission you worked on, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
When working on these, like, what's the like first step for you?
That's a good question because I've never designed one of these from the ground up.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
I sort of just like took since I came on later in the project, I sort of just took them over, and like their general frame was already in place, and I just had to make them good.
Is there like a phase where you just kind of have to like play through it to understand like how it's structured, or is there like?
Yeah, I mean, I would be told like what the design intent was and what the main beats of it were, and sort of the gimmicks of each one, and then I'd make my own tasks for iterating and get it the other eyes on it to review it and and
crap.
one skill that I developed that I could use across multiple missions was combat encounter design and creating groups of interesting varieties of enemies to attack you, and the time working out the timing between those different waves and stuff like that.
Right.
If you go to your left there, you can jump up.
Oh,
there.
right.
So, yeah, this one went through a good deal of iteration. It used to not have. It used to be a lot.
Stay close to it while I dig through this code.
Used to be a lot more boring and have none of this like set piece
really
sort of stuff. Yeah, it was just the rooftop and the ice barrage, and it made it, since it's the whole mission is here. It wasn't super interesting. But then once we put in all this variation in the environment, it became a lot more engaging.
Yeah.
Their own Cold Warriors. Please excuse me, lady.
So when working with combat design or stuff like that for missions, is there ever any like planning phase where you're just like drawing out what will happen where on like whiteboards and stuff? Because like for some reason I always imagine like, okay, every game that's ever made always has like a super detailed document saying how everything works, and it seems like there's always a decent amount actually, no matter what game it is, of just like knowledge that's basically only in people's heads. And it's just like there's some things where it's just like, oh yeah, this is how this works, or this is how we do things. Ask me. It's not on paper or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have good documentation.
Yeah.
It's pretty important to not just have things in your head, because then if other people other than you are working on it, then it's hard to communicate what the intention is. And for yourself too, like if you forget something, it helps a lot to just have something to reference.
There are other complications.
So one thing we do is we'll have an outline of a mission.
Okay.
And we'll type out like the different phases, the different objectives. Like, okay, this objective we're going to do this.
Right.
And we'll put screenshots of the different locations that we look at, and we'll identify good spaces that can be good candidates for locations based off of the story and their level design for good combat. And we'll also look to see if that place has been used before. We want to bring the player to have these fights in places that they might not have discovered on their own. So we'll try to mix it up when it comes to that. Yeah,
I can't remember which ones they are anymore because it's been so long, but I do seem to remember that there were some missions that eventually changed location because there were a couple throughout the game that took place in areas close enough together that they were too similar. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember which ones they were anymore. Gotcha. Wish I could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the main quirk of this mission is that you're defending this, or your mixer is hacking into this ice barrage for you.
Right.
But since it's connected to General Winter technology, and you are like a part of General Winter, and your gun is sort of all tied into that technology. That while he's hacking into that, like other things are happening to you as well.
Yeah.
So there's these different phases of what happens to you. So in this one, your gun doesn't freeze at all.
Right.
And it also serves as a way to just sort of mix up the combat to give you a little something different.
Yeah. Also, it's pretty satisfying to just constantly shoot a stream out and like it never ends.
And not have to worry about something that you're used to worrying about. So in this phase, the gun will automatically freeze if you aren't shooting.
Okay.
But if you do shoot, then it'll slow down dramatically.
Yeah.
So it's like the inverse of what you're used to.
No, it is because of the inability to be intimate with a woman.
Oh, come on. So you're a little cold. Sometimes a little ice can be fun. I mean, it can't be that bad.
Have you ever put your tongue on a frozen pole in winter?
Shit, did that once on a dare. I'm still missing some skin.
There was one thing that I tried to do with this mission. For one of these phases and one of these quirks that would mess up your weapon, I tried to make his weapon like stutter when you shot it, so it wouldn't be one constant freeze beam. It would just be like kind of like a sprinkler, right? Because it kind of provided a nice sense that your gun was malfunctioning in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But that making your weapon do that did not fit in with our core weapon systems at all. So I made all of this custom functionality that would like fire the weapon. Basically I made my own little like mini like weapon system for this one little thing. And I thought I had it like within like an hour of making this thing, but then since it was its own little thing that wasn't tied into our whole weapon system, there are all these little bugs that popped up. What happens if first there was like the audio wasn't responding properly. It wasn't doing like stuttering audio because that wasn't tied into this like custom little system I made. And there are these weird things that would happen if you were firing, then you got like interrupted by an enemy while that was happening, and all this crap that I had to go through to try to get this thing working. And then in the end, it was not worth it. So I just had to scrap it, and I learned a very valuable lesson that especially for something as small as like a 2-minute phase in one like side mission, don't make custom stuff that goes against your systems. Just like
If it was insulated, maybe. But then, this is an inappropriate conversation.
Don't worry.
See, you mentioned earlier, like, how much do we, like, kind of plan things out before doing stuff? And, at least with laying out some of the spaces, it's a mix of things. So sometimes you might have an idea and you sketch it out on paper, like a 2D dungeon, right? You get a loop and a general flow. And then you green box in your editor, or maybe you just have the idea in your head and you just start with the green boxing, or you had one room that you kind of liked, but you knew it had problems, so you steal pieces of it that were working, and then you bash it into something else.
Mm-hmm.
So in something like this, it's on a rooftop. There might have been a certain amount of like scouting the city for the location after some of the buildings were built to find a good spot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mix of creative process.
Has there ever been any times where like something was planned out and then like, actually going in and working on it, a way better idea popped up?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. And the opposite can be true too. It's really possible to over-engineer something and go too far down the road.
Yeah.
Like toying with something, and then you're like, okay, I need to take a step back.
Got all the data from the barrage weapon.
Simplify down to those pieces.
Right.
So that's
same vice that designers can fall into.
Light that thing up, man.
Something.
Got no use for it now.
Absolutely.
Boom! You got it done, son!
Yes. Now it is time to thaw out Legion's future plans for General Winter.
I swear I've got all this dialogue like memorized in my head after.
Yeah, it's think that got brought up for some reason last week or the week before, but yeah, there are lots of times for a lot of people here where you need to test how a specific thing works in a mission, or for me, I had to capture a specific thing in a mission, and like, we couldn't just, at least back then, I don't know about now, we couldn't just like warp straight to that point in the mission because it would break scripting and stuff like that, I believe. So you'd have to play through a lot of stuff, or at least certain parts, until you knew you were in a place that was safe to like skip to the next objective. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you ask me to record certain things, I know exactly when it's safe to like hit mission advance on certain missions. Because there are some things I had to capture quite a bit when they were like very heavily in development. So just like, I think the thing I've probably seen the most is Heaven Sent 3.
Oh yeah.
I captured that one a lot.
Are you sick of that mission?
Strangely enough, no.
No. Heaven Sent 3, is that where you fight Hammersmith?
That's where you fight Hammersmith, and beforehand you have to drive while the laser's shooting at you. Yeah, that's probably the one I captured the most, just because that was like something we had earlier on that was like good to show. Is like, this is kind of what our game's like in like one mission. There is a decent amount of capturing that in various forms of development. I'm sure I have on one of my hard drives somewhere like some pretty early versions of it where, as Randy was talking last week on stream, the AI, how the laser worked for that mission used to be a lot more brutal. It would get you. It fired a lot, and it had its accuracy was a lot more pinpoint.
I remember seeing some poor play testers just get wrecked by that laser.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was like super interested in how the play testers would handle it, and some of them handled it pretty well, and some of them got like just wrecked, just because it was like back then, like if with the laser, if you crashed and you had to back up to get out of it, the time it would take to accelerate to back up was when the laser would get you. It would mess you up.
Yes, this is people in chat talking about the couch. It is broken. You couldn't tell by the way it's sucking us into itself like a vortex.
Yeah, Mike's talking about that. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody.
Not to squirm too much, but yeah, it's kind of hard.
The more you move, the stronger its grip is.
It's like quicksand. I don't know if anybody in the chat was here for this, but like 2 years ago at Volition, we ran an Extra Life stream on Twitch, I believe. And yeah, there was a part very late in the night where we were getting everybody into this room so that we could take like a group photo, and too many people sat on the couch. And there was a point where like whoever was in the middle, because I think somebody jumped on the lap of somebody else, and like you just hear like a crack, and like you see them like the people in the middle just like sink an extra inch or something, because the wood in there had too many people were on top of it at once.
That's pretty benign as far as broken couch history goes.
It's true. It was just too many people on the couch. It wasn't like, somebody got body slammed into it or something like that. Oh, there's still stuff up here. But
we'll get the crystal.
Oh yeah.
I love how it jumps. And
his and Scheherazad's animations for like jumping and stuff are my favorite.
Yeah.
Just because his is so different because he's using his weapon to do it for him. Yeah. And Scheherazade just because she's pretty anime in execution with her animation, and I'm way into that.
Yeah, I think it gives him a good sense of weight. Like he's so heavy that he needs his weapon to help him out, help him move around.
Yeah. But yeah, also for people watching this, I mentioned it last week. I think Mike was talking about it in the chat a bit. But next week we will not be streaming because I am going to be taking that week to move all of our stream stuff down to the new stream room, which is a floor below us. It's where the war room currently is.
It's going to be in the war room. Ah, cool. That'd be cool.
So yeah, we're gonna be in a much larger room with more furniture in it and a couch that's more comfortable to be in, and also doesn't make me slouch like this. So that'll be rad. And yeah, it'll just give us some more room to do other stuff. Like if I ever want to get us a green screen, so that when we're sitting on the couch, we always look like we're inside the internet.
That'd be awesome.
We could do that in the future or something. Yeah. And then, the week after next, we should be back. I guess there's always the chance that something goes wrong and I need to take more time to, like, rebuild something, but...
If we break that couch.
It should be fine. Yeah, if I accidentally break that couch by body slamming it, then we're in trouble. Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, nice tumble.
So cool. Didn't stand a chance. She got frozen.
Do we have any Let It Go puns? Tell me we have a Let It Go pun in here.
There should be. We can hope.
I am scanning for potential threats.
Oh.
Don't sass me, cops.
Sass me, get the freeze.
Yeah, those are Yeti's unlock and personal missions. Getting some more people unlocked, because the people that we had before were like, oh, well and good, but like they're not the ones I personally go to. So
who's your main squad?
Main squad
who's your crew?
Is, from what I've seen, the two I play as the most are Braddock and Rama.
Cool.
And then the third is usually
long range people. You gotta get someone.
Yeah, the third is usually
Settle down.
I like using red card to like go between short and medium range.
Nice.
A lot, and also I use his Mayhem a lot just because on the higher difficulty levels it still reduces enemies to pretty low health. And if I'm not using red card, I'm probably using Scheherazade.
Gotcha.
Because I like Scheherazade a lot.
Nice.
The black hole blades, I think they're called.
Those are sweet, yeah.
Are what I use a lot.
Those are super cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to Ninja. That's
yeah, it's really true.
Ninjas are just hard to make and not cool.
I understand you're a man that knows how to get things.
I usually have to have Daisy in my squad.
Oh man, you totally got that reference.
It's mostly because I never know what she's gonna say, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I really like using Daisy as like from a character personality wise for sure. Gameplay wise, I like her too, but I don't. I just can't use her as effectively as I can. Like Braddock is like the number one for me. I found out over the past like couple of months. Like I mainly just use the armor piercing rounds because then it's just like I can just lay on so many stacks of vulnerability onto one enemy and just kind of go one by one. And that's really satisfying to me. And then Rama's just great because her bow feels really good, and I'm pretty good at getting headshots with her now. Yeah, that's
definitely entertaining to have Daisy in the squad. I really like Hollywood's lines as well.
Yeah.
If you have like those two and like Red Card or Kingpin, like the comedy part of our whole action movie with comedy thing becomes a lot more apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingpin's a lot of fun. I like his SMG is really cool.
You showed off any of the Easter eggs in here?
Oh yeah, I like 2 or 3 weeks ago when we streamed like the week of launch. I made sure to show that Steamboat Willie like black and white.
Oh, were they like that's
where they're
so cool.
bouncing and stuff. Yeah. I didn't point out like everything that's in here, but that's like the most major Easter egg. I mean, there's also like the.
We've got a statue in the back.
Yeah, is that up here?
No, that's also that's in Relics. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In the back of Relics shop.
Yeah.
Oh, I did the fake Picasso in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was sweet.
So they had everybody from the art team just and I actually think some people that weren't on the art team, there was just an all call like, hey, make a painting, and here's your color palette.
Oh wow, that's cool. I did not know that about these. I was curious where these came from.
Yeah, those are all hand painted by different folks.
Oh, that's cool.
James Taylor, Mark Kirkland, Keith.
Essential question, which she's asked.
Oh, they're talking about Distant Human. I don't know if you've seen Distant Human. When we did streams for our older Saints Row games, through the dev console, you can make the player character any character model in the game, and we made it. We swapped the player character model with a ped called Distant Human, which was the low poly, very far away pedestrians, and they're really messed up looking.
Distant Human is zombie. That's their identification.
Does that give sort of a faceless Slender Man horror kind of thing?
Somebody suggested a peach skin for Jewel, which sounds cool. Although she's already got a Mario skin.
Yeah.
So might be conflicting there.
So here's that other statue we were talking about in the background there.
What are they called?
The Saint of Saints.
The what?
The Saint of Saints.
Saint of Saints.
Yeah, from SR2.
If you interact, a relic says a little something.
I see you noticed the statue in the back. Perhaps if Persephone was more saintly in her ways, she would prefer her usual sculpture.
Yeah. That's really cool about those paintings, though. I had no idea.
It is good to see you. Yeah. I was concerned. There's a surprising amount of content, like visually in the arc. Like it's very
there is. It's nice to look at. I hope some people stop and smell the roses, because there's some cool stuff in there. There's some really cool stuff at Persephone's place too.
I would have greeted you with
what was the other thing I was thinking of?
And this stuff is sweet too. You get a sense of their personalities just by their stuff on the wall.
I'm trying to think. I think I had a question about one other thing, maybe, but I can't quite remember. No, maybe I was just thinking of those paintings, but I do remember in here. Okay, yeah, the Genius poster is still there and stuff, because I remember for a little while, like these. Before they had proper textures, I think they were just random, like, actual inspirational posters that were being used as, like, temp placeholders or something. But, yeah, let's take a look at Persephone's real quick.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, I like the scrolls are pretty nice.
She's got a lot of art. Of herself.
Of herself, too, yeah. Just, like, surrounding herself with art of herself.
I've got a story on that one on the right. I know that...
Which one?
This one?
That one?
Yeah, James Taylor did a lot of these, and he kept getting a bug about it not being UV mapped to the size of the frame, and he's like, no, it's modern art. It's like Andy Warhol, where it's off the center, and it's... Yeah, so
that's funny. Yeah, when I first saw...
he kept getting it back, too. Like,
when I first saw that, I was like, oh, is that texture just not entirely there or, like, mapped correctly? And then, like, when it stayed that way, it's like, oh, I see. It's art.
Right, yeah. a lot of the stuff in here it's got a 60s vibe. Where it's that 60s kind of futurist without going too, like, Jetsons.
Right.
So. One with her holding a skull is a little perturbing.
I like that one a lot, actually.
Well, that's supposed to give the vibe of when she used to be in Legion. Right?
Yeah. No, it fits her character.
It's got a sort of a Mary Shelley, Sylvia Plath sort of a thing going on.
Yeah. It's really cool seeing this stuff and knowing that it's based on, actual art history. I used to know my art history better because I went to college for graphic design, so I had to take like a lot of art history courses as well. But a lot of that stuff's like fallen out of my head.
Yeah.
It's been a little while now, but it is always cool when people have the ability to actually flex those art history muscles and like do something in a style that they may generally never have a reason to do.
Yeah.
Someone's suggesting that Persephone must have triple jump as well in order to reach those books on the highest shelf.
Oh, man.
And she probably just gets one of her agents to do it for her.
Well,
yeah.
Well, she's.
Yeah, you could do that with double jump.
Just double jump. Now, if you needed to touch up the painting on the top here, then
that's true.
yeah.
Change out that light bulb at the top.
Oh yeah.
Then triple jump definitely necessary. Yeah, she's got some class.
Mm-hmm. I'm just imagining now that like, oh, what if one of these paintings did have to get touched up and it ended up like that one. I forget which painting it is. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like several years ago, that like painting of Jesus from like the Renaissance had to get touched up and it got real messed up.
Yeah, because that woman thought she could do it.
Yeah. I forget which painting that is.
It's called Esse Homo, which means behold the man.
Right. Yeah. Just imagining if we had a version of that somewhere in here, that'd be great. But yeah, that's the stuff with Yeti and some random other details in the arc and all that. Just another quick reminder that next week we will be taking off. We will not be having a stream next week, just so that I can get the time to move all the stream stuff and get it all set up. And then hopefully the week after that we'll be back with more stuff. And yeah, if you want to know more about AOM, or if you liked seeing the stream and you've missed out on some of the past ones, we've done a whole bunch for the past couple of months. Most of them, we have the actual voice actors on who voice whatever agent we were talking about, all that cool stuff. You can find all those archived on our YouTube account, which is youtube.com/VolitionTube. The archives go up about a week after we broadcast on Twitch. And also you can follow us on social media. We are at AOM The Game on Twitter, AOM The Game on Facebook, and our website's also aomthegame.com. And yeah, I'm Josh Stinson, the video editor and stream host here. On the couch we had
James Kotzian, systems designer.
And Camden Bear, environment artist / world builder.
And we also had our community developer, Mike Watson, firing the chat. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
And yeah, we will see you not next week, but the following week with more stuff, and also in a new room. That'll be cool. It'll be really wide open, so we can keep the air conditioning on, hopefully, and it'll be nice and cool in there. And I will try very hard to somehow keep it called the War Room, just because that sounds really cool.
It does sound cool.
But yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks. Later, everybody.
Bye, friends.
Peace.